Hi friends, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making oven baked ham. I can't wait to get started, so let's go. So first I'm going to use my saucepan and make our ham glaze. So I have my saucepan on a medium heat and I'm going in with 1/3 cup of orange juice, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/3 cup of pineapple juice, and then we're also going to be using 1/3 cup of honey. Now, to make it not stick, you could also lightly grease your measuring cup, but since I'm using a spatula to mix everything, my spatula does a pretty good job getting it out of my measuring cup. Honey is very sticky, so that's a great tip when you are using any measuring containers with honey, but I just find I'm using a spatula for this instance, not like a cake or anything, so I am letting it do double duty. Now we're just going to mix this up on that medium heat, and we want to bring it up to a boil. You don't want to bring it up to a rapid, crazy boil quickly. So I do over medium heat. And as you can see, it's slightly simmering. And then once it comes up to a rapid boil, I'm going to turn the heat off. And that's because I don't want it to crystallize and get all sugary. Then once it comes to a boil, we're going to actually turn the heat down and you'll see that this mixture is right into cool down mode. The bubbles stop obviously because we cut the heat, and we're going to let this cool for about 10 to 15 minutes and then place into the refrigerator in an airtight container. And the reason I like to make it beforehand is because it's such a hectic day already. I want to be able to just quickly glaze the ham and grab it out of the fridge. Next, we're going to open our ham. I'm using a spiral sliced ham, and this is about, I think it was like almost 11 pounds. It was like 10.82. We're going to take that glaze and throw it in the garbage. Sorry if anybody likes that. It's just not flavorful enough for us. We don't like it. We prefer to make our own glaze, and that is completely optional. You could still use that glaze. So one tip I would like to give is if you're opening anything like a ham, turkey, chicken, anything with a lot of juice, I love using a cutting board that has the divots in it for like that juice channel, or a cookie sheet just like you see I have here. So when you open these packages, there's just a ton of juice. So you want to do that and contain all the juice. It's easier to clean that than the counter and the floor. Now, when we open this, you can see my ham does not have a plastic piece, but if yours did, you want to remove that. Now, I like buying a spiral ham. If you don't buy a spiral ham, that's totally fine, but this is my favorite type to buy. It's just so much easier to get all the flavor in there, especially when I'm glazing it at the end. I actually go in and glaze each slice. It's so flavorful. Plus, it's easier to serve. Now I'm going to take it and place it cut side down into a 9x13 casserole dish, and then I'm going to take some tidbits of pineapple, actually they're more like chunks, larger chunks, and place those onto the bottom of my casserole dish. Now I'm going in with 3/4 cup of canned pineapple juice, because if you use fresh, it's going to turn your ham to mush. The bromelain in the pineapple will eat it before you do. Then we're going to go in with 3/4 cup of water, and I'm putting that around because we just poured that delicious pineapple juice around the ham. Then we're going to cover this with aluminum foil. And the reason I do that is because I want this to steam nicely. You could also do this in a crock pot, but mine wouldn't fit. And I would cook it for 4 hours on low in a crock pot for like an 6 to 8 pounder. Now, after it's baked in my preheated oven, I preheated it to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. I cooked it for 15 minutes per pound. I'm taking out that glaze that we made earlier. And as you can see, I am putting it in each and every slice of the ham. I want each piece coated. When I did lift the ham, it cooked so well that some of the actually fell. So that's totally fine. It's in the juices, and those pieces were actually the first pieces that everybody grabbed, and everybody loved it. So what we're doing now is just glazing each and every piece, making sure it gets that delicious sugar glaze. And then I'm actually going to put it back in the oven to get some more color on it, because we kind of steamed it when we put that aluminum foil on it, and it doesn't get that color. And when we put on the glaze, it gets a little bit more crispy. And if you wanted, you could even double the glaze and serve it on the side. Or another option is we have a delicious glaze kind of in the casserole dish. You could take that, boil it down, and then add in 1 teaspoon of cold water with 1 teaspoon of cornstarch to thicken it up. I couldn't resist, and I did take a piece before I served. Ham and everything else is done. I cannot wait to dig in. So I always use fresh or frozen pineapple in my ham. I just love it over canned pineapple, but you can use canned pineapple as well. I'm gonna take a taste of the pineapple with the ham. I love that combo. And the ham on its own now. I love the citrus flavor with that tropical pineapple flavor. And then we add that brown sugar. It's just super delicious. It's not overly sweet because we did use a little bit of water in the pan. It's super moist, and I think you guys are gonna love it. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this with my family. I hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye, friends.